Live.
Yep, you're good.
Alright guys, hey, this is Derek here at Patriot Firearms Training. Not sure if anybody's listening because we're going live feed tonight. Tonight I'm going to talk about Christianity and your firearm. And the reason I'm talking about this is because there's been some things in the news talking about it, and recently I had a liberal troll get on our Facebook page and question some things. So it's been bugging me all week, so I figured instead of typing it out, we'll go on Facebook Live. If I'm looking over here at my computer, I'm actually seeing if it's loading, if I'm on Facebook Live. Anybody watching yet, Bree?
One.
One person's watching. Let me know if comments come up, Bree, so I can address it, because I don't see it on my end over here on my computer.
Two.
But Christianity and a firearm. So we say we are a family-run, faith-based business. And what that means is that my wife and I and my daughter all believe that Jesus Christ died for our sins and that he's coming back soon. We have faith. Whenever we have problems, whenever we need something, we pray about it. So that's where the faith base comes in. Pope Francis in May of this year made a comment. I'm not sure how true the comment is. I've tried to do some fact checks on it, but he did say something rather like this. His quote is, people who own firearms can no longer call themselves Christians. This is the Pope Francis saying this. I don't put a lot of stock in the Pope. I'm not Catholic. I'm not bashing Catholics. But what does Pope Francis have to talk about firearms for? He is guarded by more firearms than our President of the United States. He's got his own army. He's behind bulletproof glass. He should be more worried about the priests that are molesting children in the United States than worrying about if Christians should own firearms. That's all I'm going to say about Pope Francis. In the Bible, Luke 22:36 says, "Now, however, he told them, the ones with a purse should take it, and likewise a bag, and the one without a sword sell his cloak and buy one." This is Jesus telling his disciples, listen guys, if you don't have something to protect yourself, sell something and buy a sword to protect yourself. Jesus knew that things were going to get bad. Now, fast forward. He's in the garden with Peter. This is when Judas comes up and gives Jesus a kiss and betrays him, and they take him away and they're going to crucify him. Well, Judas came up with the Roman guards and the high priest, and he gives Jesus a kiss, and they grab Jesus. Peter pulls a sword and cuts off the high priest's servant's ear. What does that tell you right there? As an instructor, that is telling me that Peter listened to what Jesus had told him before. He went out, he got himself a sword to defend himself. And that's what he had. He had a sword on him to defend himself. Now, I have some Christians say, well, Jesus also said, live by the sword, die by the sword. Well, that's as if you're the aggressor. I do believe that. If you're the aggressor, constantly looking for war, looking for a fight, yes, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. That's not what this case was here when Peter pulled out his sword and cut off the servant's ear. Peter was afraid for Jesus' life. Here you have these Roman soldiers and these priests that are coming to try to take Jesus away from him. Jesus is someone he loved, he deeply cared about, and he was protecting Jesus. Even though Jesus knew it was supposed to happen, but Peter was protecting Jesus with a sword that Jesus himself told him he should go buy. That's just my opinion on it. I mean, I've had Christians tell me all kinds of different stories on what their opinions are on it, but as an instructor and as a Christian, that's how I feel. That's how I feel what was going on there. Now, think about something else, and I think about this as an instructor. Peter drew his sword and cut off the right ear of this servant. That takes some training. You just can't pull a big sword from your side and cut off someone's ear. So that tells me Peter had some training with that sword. Again, just my speculation on it. So, if there's Christians out there telling you you shouldn't have a firearm, it's not Christian-like to have a firearm. There's been weapons all through the Bible. What did David have when he killed Goliath? He had a slingshot. Hit him with a rock. What was the first assault weapon? It was a rock when Cain killed Abel, the very beginning of the Bible. What did Moses have? Moses had a staff, and he used it as a weapon. He used it to fend off things. So today, your firearm is what you have to protect yourself, to protect your friends, your family. You're not looking for the fight. You're looking to be the sheepdog. You're guarding your flock. My flock is my family. I am the sheepdog. I am guarding my family. I have 2 daughters and a wife. It's my job to protect them. If you know my personal history, my wife and I, you know it took us a long time to have children. Once we had our first child, after a long time of trying, it was another 10 years before we had another child. Those are gifts from God, and it's my responsibility to take care of those gifts and protect them. And my firearm is one of those things that I use to protect my family. My wife has one to protect the girls when I'm not around. So in my opinion, and like I said, it's my opinion, having a firearm and want to protect yourself and your family is not unchristian-like. You do not have to give up your Christianity to use a firearm. But like I said, just my opinion. So, hey, Bree, is anybody watching? Or am I just talking to myself?
You have 4.
4? Hey, those 4 people, anybody got any questions or comments?
They're all your friends.
They're all my friends? I don't have any friends. You tell me that
you
all
have
the time.
Jason, Deb Dent, Tyler Carson, Stephen Page.
Steve Page?
Yep. Whatever.
Come on, guys. What am I just crazy or am I right? Let me know. I wish I could see it on my Facebook
Well
page.
said, Derek. Tyler Carson. Deb Dent gives a thumbs up.
So
Jason says, "Hey."
the thing that bothered me when yes, this was a liberal troll on our website, because I went back and looked at their Facebook page and they were very anti-Trump, all this other stuff. So it bothered me that they said that I couldn't be a Christian, a patriot, and firearms. They didn't go together. Really? Do you know the history of our country? And I'm talking to the liberals out there. What was this country based on? Why are you laughing at me?
Jason Babbitt just says you're crazy.
You know, Jason, I actually wanted to have you here because you know the Bible better than I do. I'm not an expert on the Bible, and I'm not an expert on firearms. I know a little about both, so that's the only reason I'm doing this. But, Jason, I was going to ask you to be here because you know the Bible.
I could put him on camera.
So, but they told me that I couldn't be a patriot, I couldn't be a Christian, and I couldn't have a faith-based business. They didn't go together. Why not? Our country was based on all those. If you know the story of George Washington, this was a man of God. This is a person that God had a plan for. Because, one, you don't live back then and live to the age of 70-some. You usually die in your 40s and 50s. And the stuff that George Washington went through, the diseases that he had, the battles, everything, God had a plan for him. He was a Christian. He prayed regularly. And yeah, he used firearms. And he was a patriot. So tell me, why can't our business be the same? Why can't we be Christians and have faith? Why can't we use firearms? Why can't we be patriots? I love this country. I never got to join the military. My greatest regret in life is not joining the military and serving my country. I praise the men and women who have. I just heard my phone go off. What was that about? My cameraman's doing something. My camera girl. So yeah, you can be all those. You can be a Christian. You can be pro-firearms. And you can be a patriot. We need more people like that. We need more people carrying guns. The big thing is that as this country, we need to come back to Christ. We are so far gone that it's a scary world out there. And as my Christians know, it's not going to get any better. The time is coming soon when Jesus is coming back, and things are getting worse for us. That's another reason to have a firearm. The crazy story, I had an argument with a Christian that said, I'm a Christian, Jesus is going to protect me, I don't need a firearm. Really? So you're telling me if you walk out in front of a bus, Jesus is going to protect you? No, you're tempting fate. Same thing here with not having a firearm. It's your job to protect yourself. Yes, Jesus is out there. Yes, you have guardian angels, but you're tempting fate. You make me nervous, kid, when you start smiling and laughing.
I just like what people say.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting cotton mouth, so I have to use my Patriot Firearms Training coffee cup, brought to me by Laser Point, my good brother-in-law, Mark Heiselberger. So Deb Dent, you're one of them. Get your CPL. Let's go. Let's get your training. Anybody giving me any questions, or are they just giving me comments? Statements? Any questions? So I'm gonna try to do this maybe once a week. I'd like to bring in my range safety officers, Joe and Chuck. Both Joe and Chuck have combat experience. Chuck, as you know, served 4 tours over in Iraq, and Joe served 4 tours in Afghanistan. So they have a couple different perspectives on combat and fighting. They've been in gunfights. I know they've been in foxholes, and like they said, there's no atheists in foxholes. And I know at least one of them are a man of faith. I have to work on the other one and get him to know the Lord. Again, if you're out there and you don't know the Lord, and you want to know something about this Jesus guy, hey, I'm always open. I might not have the right answers. I might not know what to tell you, but I can definitely point you in the right direction and get you to some people who are. Always listen to Fuel FM and Jason. And the great music they play, we are proud to support that ministry. Coming up, September 28th, is a good concert at East Bay Calvary Church. Go to that. We have more spots open in our CPL class this Saturday. I think we have 4 spots left open. If it's been a while since you've gotten your CPL, so like last 4 years, or you're coming up on a renewal, we do have the refresher course. So you can come in and sit through the law portion and some shooting portions, and then go out to the range and shoot with us. Because the county does require you to have some type of refresher course. So we do have that. Pretty soon here in September, we're going to be teaching a course called Refuse to be a Victim. This is a non-shooting course. This is going to be a 4 to 5 hours long. And what we're going to talk about is just that. We're going to show you how not to be a victim of a crime. Whether it's on the street, at your home, the internet, the phone, while you're traveling. So if you have teenage daughters, you got kids going to college, and even the ladies, this is a great class to come to and to get some good information. Yes, sweetheart?
I forgot to say there was one question by Jason.
Okay, what's Jason's question?
He said, what do you say to people who think too many people carry firearms that aren't trained well?
Yeah, there are people out there. We talk about a business of faith. Trust me, my wife and daughter probably pray every time I walk out the door and go to the range with a class, because unfortunately there are people out there that need more training that just don't do it. I'm just thankful that people have training. The more people carry, the more politer society we'd have. I mean, compare us to Texas, where almost everybody carries a gun. Everybody's polite in Texas, unless you're an illegal. It's a whole different story, though. A whole different subject, though. We won't go into that. But there are a lot of people out there that aren't adequately trained, but at least they have some sort of training. When constitutional carry came up, yes, I'm a constitutionalist. I think this country should be run by the Constitution of the United States. But the Second Amendment says that you have, you have the right to keep and bear arms. What does bear mean? Bear means to carry the burden of a firearm, and it means to show. It doesn't mean to conceal carry, and that's what constitutional carry was about, was that as soon as you turned 18, you could conceal or open carry a firearm in the state of Michigan. I don't like that. Yes, we are an open carry state where, at 18, you can open carry a pistol. That's fine, because I can see you carrying that gun, and I know I can keep my eye on you. But if you're concealed carrying it, I'm hoping you have some sort of training. Because it does take some training to conceal carry a gun, know where you can and cannot go, and how to handle the police and things of that nature. So you never can have too much training. The more you shoot, the more comfortable you feel with that gun. So constantly train, shoot. It's like with anything, and it has to come natural to you, especially if it happens in a life-threatening situation where there's so much stress going on, you can't think, you just have to react. And you're not going to be able to react properly unless you've been training. Did I answer your question, Jason?
Deb Dent says, so you can conceal carry at 18.
You cannot conceal carry at 18. You can open carry at 18. Open carry means totally showing the gun. Anytime you get into any type of motor vehicle, on a motor vehicle, you have to unload the gun and put it in a case and separate it. You have to be 21 before you can conceal carry. You also have to be 21 before you can buy a handgun, but you can own one at 18. Kind of sounds goofy, Deb, but what it means is that you could buy your daughter a pistol and then just transfer it over to her name. That's the only way that she could own a pistol. An 18-year-old can open carry, they just can't conceal carry.
Jason says yes.
Did I answer this question?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good, because he's one that probably should be out training a little bit more. And he needs a haircut.
No, I like the man bun.
I'm waiting for him to give me that clip-on man bun that's out there.
Give you it? I don't think you have enough.
Okay, so I said my piece. You know, you can be a Christian and carry a firearm. The Pope's wrong. I don't put a lot of stock in what the Pope says. I know a lot of people do. I know there are a lot of Catholics out there, and I probably offend them when I denounce Pope Francis, but you know, Pope Francis has more problems than whether Christians are carrying firearms or not. If he thinks firearms are the problem, maybe he better tell his army of Secret Servicemen to, you know, put their guns down and, you know, hopefully that he won't get shot. The evil is not in a gun. The evil is in men's hearts. You know, what are terrorists using nowadays? They're not using guns, are they? They're using cars, planes, trucks, knives. The evil is not in the item. The evil is in man's heart. We need to come back to Christ and, you know, get back the way it should be. Okay, so hopefully maybe next Sunday. What, did you have another question?
I'm just going to read Jason's real quick. Mr. Jason's. A lot of YouTube videos show how fast it all goes down. Question now. How do you instruct on keeping your cool in that situation? That's all, Jason.
You have to train for stress. You have to, there are a lot of courses out there. There's a great school. It's out in Nevada. But it's like a 3-day long course, and they put you on just a ton of stress. And that's the only way you're going to be able to find out if you can handle it, is to be put under stress. You're never going to be able to duplicate a scenario of your life being in jeopardy. But you can go out and train for stress. Our defensive pistol course that we were teaching, I was putting people under a fun type of stress, but it just showed how you react when you're under stress and how badly you will shoot under stress and not be able to do things. So you want something stressful, go out shooting with your wife. Yeah, especially because women tend to be better shooters than men. You know, and have your wife tell everybody how good a shot she is and how much better she is than you. Well, my wife is, but you know, I taught her. Just like this little smirk that I have behind the camera right now. She's a better shot than I am. Well, she's been shooting since she was 5. I've been, you know, teaching her ever since then. Of course, she's a good shot. One last thing I'd like to mention. So, the Friends of the NRA is putting on a gun raffle right now, and it ends in end of September, or until our tickets sell out. So, what it is that we're selling raffle tickets. We're selling only 1,000 of them. And we're giving away a gun a day in the month of October. So one ticket has 31 chances of winning a gun. And there's only 1,000 tickets being sold. So those are great chances. Tickets are $35 each, 3 for $100 or 7 for $200. I have those tickets. Like I said, only 1,000 are being sold. The numbers will be drawn on the daily 3 lotto numbers. So your numbers can be 000 to 999. So we're not drawing the numbers. Michigan Lottery, it's going to be the daily 3 evening numbers. Those are the numbers they'll be drawn. So there's no, hanky-panky in between there thinking that we're just giving the guns away to certain people. Nope, it's the daily three numbers. But they're great chances of getting to win a gun. And all the money we raise for the Friends of the NRA, people think, oh, it's the NRA. No, we're in the non-political branch of the NRA. We are the Friends of the NRA. All the money we raise goes right back into the state of Michigan for gun programs. So at the end of the year, all these shooting programs put in for grants from us, and anything from hunter safety to women on target to ROTC, anything to do with firearms. If it's teaching firearms, we give grants to them, and that's where all that money goes back. It goes right back into shooting programs. So, get these raffle tickets. Like I said, we were only going to sell 1,000. I don't know how many we have left, but we're going to sell them till we sell all of them, or until the end of September. So, if you want one of those, contact me. We'll get one. Thanks for joining me tonight. So, do I have another question?
No, just the same. Mr. Jason says, "Miss you, bro. I'm not cutting my hair."
Well, me and your mother both agree, so I'm on your mom's side. I'm going to miss your mom at the girls' camp.
We know Kim is watching now.
So, pardon me?
Kim Warden is watching.
So, thanks for joining me tonight. If you joined us late, I'm going to post this entire video back on our Facebook page so you can see my rant, what we're talking about. So hopefully maybe next week I'll have one of my range officers in here or a special guest and maybe do this and just see how well it goes. If you got questions and want me to answer them online, I can do that. The big thing is, like I said, if you don't know Jesus Christ as your personal Savior and you want to talk guns and Jesus, give me a call. I'm more than happy to do that. So, thanks. Stay safe. Keep your powder dry. And God bless the United States. Now you can shut it off.